You can't get it wrong, but you can make it long, but not you, not anymore, because manifestation is quite the paradox. But it's only a paradox to the conscious mind, and it is meant to confuse the conscious mind because the reality that you're in prior to using manifestation cannot produce the results that you're looking for, or else it would already be there. Once you start to realize this, that the whole process of manifestation really is the domain of the subconscious, and what keeps your manifestations from you is the inner battle between the conscious mind and the subconscious. And that's why you can't get it wrong. Your manifestation will happen, but you can make it long if the conscious mind and the subconscious are battling. And sometimes it's so subtle that you don't even realize it. But I will say this with manifestation: the moment that you ask for it, it is yours. And if you leave it alone, it will come. However, you can bring the marriage of the conscious mind and the subconscious to make it quicker. So my goal for you, my dear manifester, is by the end of this video, I'm going to bring you such clarity that you will realize you don't even need your conscious mind for manifestation. So therefore, if you're going to bring it in, it needs to serve you, and it needs to serve you now. So one of our big catchphrases here in the Invincible CEO is you can't get it wrong, but you can make it long. Meaning that your manifestation, once you truly choose it, it's yours. It's yours instantly, right? Because there's 3 levels of reality. There's the energetic, there's the mental, and there's the physical. In the Invincible CEO, we say you're in this beautiful bubble. 80% is inactive, invisible. It's sitting in a warehouse in your bubble, just waiting for you to consciously become aware that it's something you want to see show up. The 15% is the mental. You've activated it. You're thinking about it. You're starting to put some focus into it. And then the 5% is what's physically manifested, your template that you could write any story over right here, right now. So my goal for you is to make this manifestation thing so simple. And I'm going to walk you through an experience today in this video. So you want to definitely stay for that. You can have a PhD in manifestation and still not figure out how to make this work quickly for yourself, even though all you're doing 24/7 is manifesting all day long. I'm going to show you today through this experience because this is about bringing you to experience. Remember, every video I'm going to ask you to make a promise to yourself that you're going to do something that was mentioned here in this video today. You're going to put inspired action in when that moment arises within you. So make sure right now, if you don't have a pen and paper, get a notebook, especially if you're coming to these videos. You always want to have your notebook handy, because you're not going to want to miss one juicy detail. You're probably going to have to watch this video several times for it really to click. But I promise you, my goal for you is that this manifestation is really simple and fun, that it's something that you do naturally. And when we're starting to question things, we're coming out of the naturalness of things. So I'm going to explain all of that for you today. All right, my wonderful friends. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dede Powerniak, and I am the Invincible CEO. I am the most exciting last manifestation coach you're ever going to need. Not that you need one, but even as a coach, I know I need coaches from time to time when I'm getting a new level of expertise that I want to explore. And what better way is to be with somebody who's where I want to be, who's doing and knows it inside and out.
If you currently need some help and guidance on making clear, concise, conscious choices in the now moment, take a moment, check out my coaching options in the description box below, and get on my calendar so that we can help you manifest the life of your dreams with ease.
And the crazy fun thing about manifestation is that it is so experiential. It's sort of like, do you ever notice love songs? They don't make sense until you're in love, and then they make sense, and it's like mind-blowing. Like, how did you not see it before? Well, that's about manifestations the same way. It's about allowing yourself to have the natural experience of, yes, we all want to wave that magic wand and have something happen right here, right now. And there are ways on a time crunch in the now moment that you can do that. That there's a way in the naturalness of being for this to happen. So I want to see you win big. I want to see you win big all the time. And what we're doing here at the Invincible CEO is we're teaching you how to butt in front of the line. You know, that thing that you're not supposed to do, right? That you want to wait, you want to go into a wonderful concert, but there's this huge long line. I'm going to teach you ways that not only can you walk up to the front of the line and nobody's going to object to you, but you could get into that arena without a ticket, right? That's the level of delusion we're offering here, because you have to first go delusional into the subconscious and then bring the conscious mind along to play. I give you reasons why to stay to the end of the video. This is going to be so exciting. And if you're wondering if I made this video just for you, you're absolutely right. So in this moment, if you haven't done so, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. We're growing very, very quickly here. Like the video. And if you know and you have any other manifesting friends, please share the channel, share the video. I appreciate you deeply. So this is the question that you're going to really need to do a self-inquiry as to who are you really? And I'm going to break it down nice and simple, and I'm going to give you a little exercise to do. Okay, so who is the one noticing? Who's the one noticing? In your day, as you go about, who's the one noticing? And you most likely say, I'm the one noticing. But you also believe that you're one you. And I'm going to prove to you right now that there's at least two of you active within you. So pick up something around you that has some words on it, right? Or you can pick up your phone, something where you can read to yourself. I want you to pick up something, and it could be anything. You know, if you have a can of something, just you could be reading the label. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as there's something for you to read. So find something to read, 1 or 2 lines, not too long, and I want you to read it out loud. Even though that there's no one else there, you read it out loud like you're reading it to me. And I'm going to listen. Wonderful. Okay. So now you're going to take, and you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to read it to yourself. So read it to yourself. Now, in the first example, if I were there, and I am, or anyone else that's there, would hear you, right? So you're the doer, and they're the receiver. They're the receiver of your words, just like right now I'm speaking and you're receiving my words. But if we take the second example where you're reading to yourself, who's noticing? Who's doing the reading and who's doing the noticing? This is going to be really important with manifestation, because up until this point, you may think it's the same you. There's only one you. But there isn't, because one is a conscious mind action and the other one is a subconscious mind action. So when you're reading to me, I'm sitting in the room with you and you're reading to me, you're the conscious mind and I'm playing the role of the subconscious. I'm receiving the information. But when it's you and the majority of your day, it's you. Now, when you read to yourself, did it sound like your voice? Because if it does, that's why you think right away it's you. But I want you from now on, anytime that there's a voice in your consciousness, because it's not you until you identify with it, pick somebody's voice that you love to hear. You know, it could be Morgan Freeman, it could be Frasier, it could be Monica from Friends, like who, or it could be somebody in your personal life that you just love their voice. And from now on, whenever there's a voice in your head, I want it to be in that voice, because I want you to understand the separation of you and you. So you could, even if you're female, have a male voice, or if you're male, have a female voice. It doesn't matter. And in my other video, I mentioned that my conscious mind is Bob and my subconscious mind is named Mimi, right? Because I want to differentiate them from me. But when you're reading within yourself, there's a part of you that's narrating what's being read, and there's a part of you that's understood what's being read. Powerful. This point is so powerful. Now, I'm going to give you another experience to do, which is take a couple deep breaths, and I want you to turn your head to the far left as you can. And what we're going to do in this experience is we're just going to slowly scan the room. You can move your head up and down. Like, I want you to take everything in as you do it. Everything that you see, and if you're outside, whatever it is, whether you're in a room or you're outside, just slowly take in everything and go to the far right. And then slowly scan again, taking in everything just as it is. Everything just is, just happening. Now we're going to do it one more time without me speaking, because I really want you to not have no voice in your head and nothing being said by me. So let's do that together one more time. Okay. Now we could have timed that, and I would say probably it feels like that was 20 to 30 seconds from left to right and right to left. It might be a little bit more, it might be a little bit less. We're not getting too technical here. But what I wanted you to realize is you were just observing, because who's the one noticing? That's you as the subconscious. And that's going on whether you realize it or not before I pointed it out to you. The subconscious is always aware of what's at its grasp in any given moment, and especially even when you're walking, right? If you're walking doing this, and you can do this when you're walking, say at the park, you can just notice. So when you hear teachers, and especially myself, of saying all the now moment is what's happening. So in that now moment, all that was happening was you were observing. Nothing else was needed at that moment. Your life itself, this is existence. It had no story other than this is what's here. If we were to put a story over top of that, this is what's here now. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing again, except this time when you go to the left, you have to name everything, and you can do it outside or in your head, doesn't matter. But you can't move your head until you name everything. And I'm talking every little thing. So I would be like door, doorknob, light switch, green wall, purple wall, tape, because we're painting. There's a closet door. There's the door jamb. Here's some lights. There's a green light. There's a blue light. There's a purple light. There's a pink light. There's 3 light bulbs. 2 are different. And you get the gist. And I want you to continue to do this to see how long does it take to even get halfway all the way over here. And you can't move your head until you name everything. You're narrating everything because it's the same room and it's the same thing. But what you're going to realize, even at the halfway point, and you can do this later on where you do the full back and forth, but I want to bring your attention back here. It took you so much longer in the naming things that we didn't name before, but they were all still there. And it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary to name everything other than you were instructed to do so. So it was part of the exercise. But this is where you can really quickly see how something you were able to do very quickly without naming it, and you took it all in and you're aware of it, was so quick. But then when we name things, it gets really slow. This is how the conscious mind slows things down, because it wants to feel needed, because it wants to feel important. I don't know, but it's unnecessary. All these things exist without you naming them, because how they exist is your awareness that they're there, not what they're called. Big, huge aha moment. Did you get that? So when you start to realize on a bigger scale, that's all manifestation is awareness that it's there. And in addition to all the things that are physically manifested, right? Because I said 5% of your reality is physically manifested. 15% is active and visible. You're thinking about it. Well, it exists. If you can think about it, it exists. Because you can't think about things that don't exist. Kind of makes your brain crack, doesn't it? Just because it's not physically here, but you can put your attention and awareness on it. Oh, that's huge. That's really, really huge. Because the very fact that awareness and observation of a thought means that it's already in the stages of manifestation, because you took it off out of the warehouse, out of the inactive invisible, and you activated it. That's why our first month in my programs, we activate everything. Because the more that thing that's activated gets your attention of the knowing that it exists, because that's all that's needed. How it shows up, that's where the conscious mind then tries to come in and manipulate, saying, well, it can come in this way, and it can come in this way, and it can come in so many different ways. You can't get it wrong, but you can make it wrong. So please put in the comments that you're really connecting to what we're saying here. This is probably one of the most powerful videos that I've ever done. Because who's noticing is the real you. So you can notice things in physical reality, you can notice things in mental reality, and in big bulk, you can say there's an infinite number of things in your inactive invisible warehouse that all you have to do is consciously notice it. And when you consciously notice something, there's no attachment to it. It just is. That's what you did the first time we went around the room. We had no personal connection other than it was there. Our mind had rendered that for us to look at. And there's nothing wrong with slowing things down and naming everything, but when you see it's so redundant, because the now moment is what's obvious. It doesn't need a story. It is the story. We don't have to name it. We don't have to acknowledge it out loud or put a word to it, because we may not all agree on what it's called. And then that when there's that conflict with each other, it's really conflict within yourself that's manifested outside of you, because your mind is asking you, do you need to resolve? So the quickest way to speed up manifestation is to stay in observation mode. How exciting is this? If there's something else that you might need a little deeper dive or clarity, put that in the comments. That helps me out a whole lot. But this should be a foundation video for manifestation, because now you understand how your thoughts about stuff can slow things down. If it really slowed down how quickly you were able to turn your head in the very room of stuff that's already existing. You don't need to think. You don't need a thought. And another great example I give of this is just think about being the observer of a TV show. You got your TV on, you're on Netflix, you're sitting on the couch, you're the observer. And you pick a show, and that's the story. The script is written. It's already done, right? You hear these things in manifestation. And you can holler at the screen all you want, but it ain't going to change what's already done, because it's already done. And if you don't like the episode or you don't like what's going on, you can pull your attention out. You can turn off the TV. You could stop the show that's playing and put it on pause. You can totally come out of that episode and pick a different show or pick a different episode. That's all we're ever doing with consciousness. But the moment that you start complaining or thinking about it, thought anchors you into the reality of the name of the thought that it's given. So let me give you an example. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. There's no movement. I don't know what to do. Guess what? That's the name of the episode. Because if you ever notice on your TV shows, they have a name. Every episode has a name. Even if it's called episode number 1, it has a name. So you want to know what your episode you're in? Speak something out loud. Because it's one thing when it's floating around in your consciousness, still auditioning for your attention. Because remember, it's not your voice anymore. You picked a voice. Let me know what voice you picked for your inner voice now. For your conscious inner voice that narrates, the narrator. We'll call that the narrator. And now when you realize that this is the episode that I'm in, and if you're stuck, then go explore the stuck episode. Be so stuck like you've never been stuck before, right? How exciting is that? But you don't have to be, because all you got to do now is pull out of the episode. But when you do, it's still the same room. It's still what's happening. It's just you start to realize you're putting a story into your reality in the room that you're sitting in. And you can change it, because right now you're unstuck. And you look around, everything looks the same. It will. But what changed? You did. You changed within, and you decided you're now in the unstuck reality. So what happens if there still seems to be stuckness going on? Because one of the things I hear about manifestation teachers saying all the time, you got to wait for 3D to catch up. No, you don't got to wait for 3D to catch up, because then that's the name of the episode. You're forever waiting for 3D to catch up, and that's why it never does, because you're waiting for it. Waiting is a reality. So what we do is we activate, and while we're aligning, we go do other things. We activate other things. So when you, as the operant power, you decide that you want to experience and you want to be the observer of it, right? But there's a level of acceptance there. So what's really powerful about this is to see the unfolding from the asking to the first offering. And sometimes the first offering is spot on. But as the operant power, I'm not training my mind to give me that which is like. When I want something to be exact, sometimes that which is like is perfect, and that's all that's needed, because I may not have known that variation existed, and I want to experience that too. But there's other times where when I ask for, I know what I want. If I go into a restaurant and I order surf and turf, don't bring me fettuccine Alfredo. right? If I go into a dealership and buy a BMW, don't substitute another car. Don't give me a Hyundai or even a Mercedes. I want a BMW. So I know that I can get exactly what it is that I asked for, and I pay attention to the naturalness of things and how things unfold and progress. And in those moments when things are being offered, you don't holler at the offering, you just observe, just like we did at the beginning of this video when we were looking around. Because the moment that I start interacting with it with words and emotions, I'm anchored into the level that it's being offered. So if you feel stuck and you really start to bring in thoughts and emotion, then you're anchoring into that reality. And that's the reality is what it is. It's the stuck reality. So when things start to show up along the way and you're seeing progress and you've trained your conscious mind not to question what's happening, because that slows it down. Every question slows it down. But to join in if a sentence is needed, if a thought is needed, it's going, oh, that just happened. Okay, we need to fine tune here. We need to re-solidify, no, not this, I want this. And that's all manifestation ever is. So you can't get it wrong, because once it's activated, and it will come to you. It just, do you want it quicker or do you want it to take 20 years? Because what eventually happens is that you busy yourself with so much other stuff that it gives the room and the space for the natural unfolding, whatever that would be for you. Manifestation, friends, is easy and fun. And if you like what we did here in this video today, I do offer one-off coaching sessions, but I also do have 3-month programs where we totally transform you, mind, body, and spirit. Because that's all I need. Give me 3 months and you will have a different you. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for sharing the channel. Thank you for all of your wonderful comments. I love doing what I do here. I'm doing it for you because I'm already doing it for myself. And I'm so excited at the results that I'm getting that I want to see you get those exact results. You can't get it wrong, but you can make it long, but not you, not anymore, because you just learned today through observation, staying as the observer, how powerful that could be, because then you'll know what script you're in. And if you don't like the script you're in, you can pull yourself out of it. It's going to look exactly the same, but now you've chosen a new episode of your life. Thanks for being here, guys. I'll see you next time.